I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On my honor, I will try
to serve God and my country, to help people of all times,
and to live by the Girl Scout law.
I will do my best to be honest and fair,
friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely,
make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout.
Welcome to the 2020 Breaking Barriers to Build Change virtual event, featuring our Women of Distinction and Adult Awards. We are so excited to be with all of you and celebrate our amazing volunteers and community members. My name is Jocelyn Luevanos, and I have the privilege of being your host for this evening. I have been a Girl Scout since the first grade, and this is my 10th year in Scouting, and I love meeting all the new people and faces in Girl Scouts of California's Central Coast. Although we could not be in person, we are thrilled so many of you are joining us from your homes, and we have an exciting night ahead of us. To kick us off this evening, I would like to introduce to you our board chair, Lupita Renteria Gavin.
I'm Lupita Renteria Galvan, your board chair for Girl Scouts of California Central Coast. I have been an active volunteer board member with this council for 6 years. I'm excited to be with you this evening as we celebrate a year that challenged us in new ways. Girl Scouts are no strangers to challenges. As they have always done, they met the pandemic with courage, character, and confidence. Girl Scouts did not take a break, but we know it was not easy. Girls, families, and communities faced several challenges this year that our society was not prepared for. Virtual fatigue, lack of social experiences, wrestling with mental wellness, and of course, the crave for normalcy. The backbone of this organization is the volunteers. We will be introducing you to several amazing women. These women of distinction have broken down barriers and paved the way for girls seeking out leadership positions while making the world a better place. The board of directors and myself are thrilled to be serving Girl Scouts of California Central Coast to ensure every girl has the opportunity to connect, discover, and take action. I have the great honor to serve as your board chair through 2023. Please join me in welcoming your 2021-2022 Board of Directors. Donna McNeely will serve as your vice chair, Sue Roth as vice chair of membership, Crystal Evans as secretary, and Raina Knapp as our treasurer. In addition, please welcome your members at large, Danielle McCaffrey, Natalie Musi, Susan Murata, Amy Fleischer, Ryan Van Omeren, Betty Grace, Colin Doyle, and Maria Ventura. We want to thank Keisha Browder and Dwayne Carey as our outgoing board members. They have provided their time and talent to further the mission of Girl Scouts of California Central Coast. Keisha and Dwayne, thank you for your years of service and support. Girl Scouts is thought to be synonymous with cookies, fun, and new experiences, but it also helps to develop important leadership skills that allow girls to be resourceful, problem-solving, and challenge-seeking women. I experienced the power of Girl Scouts firsthand when I worked for Girl Scouts of Monterey Bay in the mid-90s as a program specialist. I had the privilege of bringing Girl Scout programming experience to underrepresented girls in migrant camps in the Salinas Valley. The locations usually were windy, dusty, and sometimes outdoors. I really didn't expect much participation from the girls. I was mistaken. These girls were so happy to see someone that looked like them and spoke their language. I introduced Girl Scouts to them. Most of them were first-generation Girl Scouts. They attended every meeting with enthusiasm and pride. I knew at that moment that Girl Scouts mattered regardless of demographics. Now as board chair, I make it a priority that all girls experience Girl Scouting no matter their race, ethnicity, or zip code.
Our girls, along with all of us, have experienced a year of just craziness. There's not much to say about that. But this year is the year of resiliency as we come back into not the norm, but a new norm for whatever that means. But what I need you to help them. I need you to consider donating a gift of $25 to give the girl 1 year, just 1 year, of all things Girl Scouts have to experience. You've heard from several of our women honorees what Girl Scouts can and does provide a girl. So please, $25, give the gift of a year of amazing experiences. Jocelyn, I think this is the time we get this party started. I'm so excited. We have several hundred people watching us. We have watching parties. And guess what? We're really here to celebrate these extraordinary volunteers. Their efforts this last year are going to be recognized and truly appreciated, I hope, in this event. You supported our girls with increased passion, and we're so excited to celebrate with you. So Jocelyn, let's open the packages. Everybody get your package.
The moments we've all been waiting for. It's the packages.
We ready? All right, let's go.
Woo! Okay, the first thing I pulled out was this pom-pom too.
Woo, woo.
Party time now.
All right. I know who made these. Michelle Kennett, Mikasa Service Unit. You are absolutely amazing. Excellent work. And I love these.
These are so cute. These are amazing.
I think Jen and Michelle knew these were my favorite cookies. I don't know how they ended up with a random box, but these are my favorite. Yes, I do.
Okay, these are my favorite too. So I don't know how I ended up with my favorite, but that was pretty good luck on our part.
Now this is a true celebration for all, right? Girls and adults alike. We're going to be popping this into at the end of this video or in the presentation. And who cannot go away with a swell water bottle? I'm going to call it a water bottle.
These are so cute. These are perfect for like tea and coffee. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait to use this.
You don't drink coffee.
I drink tea.
Thank you. How about out of bed? And I have to say, prior to being the CEO, I owned my own small business, and I love, well, we all love Girl Scouts, but we made these, and I love these. Okay, I just do. They'll be with me forever. I love the whole piece of that.
These are so perfect. I love it. It's got it's got the promise and the law on it. I love these little things. This is so cool.
Isn't that amazing? You a chocolate eater, Jocelyn? Everybody else out there? Not that there is a theme here, but chocolate, wine glass, who knows? For you, chocolate, I don't know if chocolate and apple cider goes well, but hey,
it'll work. It's a party. Anything goes. It works. Oh yes, and then this little pen, just because I love the pens in this council. I don't know why. They're just amazing. So cool. Boop, there it goes.
I hope everybody enjoys these.
Yes, this is an amazing box. Yes, now we can get the party started. We got our pom-poms. Let's cheer on all of these amazing volunteers.
Woo! All 207.
Woo! Yeah, volunteers.
It's my honor to introduce you to this year's recipients of GSUSA Adult Awards. These are national awards, and these amazing men and women have gone above and beyond in providing Girl Scouting to girls throughout our council.
The appreciation pin recognizes an individual's exemplary service in support of delivering the Girl Scout leadership experience. Congratulations to our volunteers: Georgette Auberg, Martin Casey, Sarah Ducoto, Tammy Elbaum, Karen Gautier, Lucinda Cindy Goodyear, Kathleen Grisham, Elizabeth Kellner Christensen, Araceli Slickton, Vivian Solodkin, Tiffany Wissett Odell, Tim Woolever. The honor pin recognizes a volunteer whose outstanding service has impacted multiple service units. Congratulations to our volunteers: Carrie Knight, Hazel Powell, Mary Jean Ryan, Amy Sue Capperton. The Thanks Badge recognizes a volunteer who has provided exceptional, outstanding service that benefits the total council or entire Girl Scout movement. A special thanks to this year's honorees: Nancy Beckstrom, Robert Cabral, Tanya Chavez, Debbie Dyer, Kristen Escal, Crystal Forbes, Keisha Frost, Denise Hand, Danielle McCaffrey, Jennifer Murphy, Eileen Murda, Julie Sains, Latanya Wilson. The Thanks Badge 2 recognizes a Thanks Badge recipient who has since provided continuing distinguished service benefiting the total council that significantly surpasses the original achievement. Congratulations to Holly Nishida. Holly Nishida joined Girl Scouts in 1961 as a brownie back before daisies were invented. Holly's 11 years as a Girl Scout gave her a wonderful foundation for life, and she contributes her experiences to who she is today. She continued as an adult Girl Scout, progressing through many positions at the troop, service unit, council, and national levels. Her favorite position for many years has been a trainer of new leaders. Most recently, she has been the co-director of Kaleidoscope and a national delegate for our council. Thank you, Holly, for sharing so many years of experience with Girl Scouts. We are honored to present you this year's honor of a Thanks Badge 2. Volunteer of Excellence Award recognizes a volunteer who has contributed outstanding service while partnering directly with girls in any pathway to implement the Girl Scout leadership experience. Congratulations to this year's Volunteer of Excellence recipients: Kathy Carrington, Katie Dorms, Debbie Giles, Betty Grace, Tammy Grott, Mandy Guerrero, Sharon Hall, Jessica Heron, Lori Hoffman, Karen Kennedy, Carrie Cabanet, Sarah Poole, Amber Since its founding in 1912, Girl Scouts has offered girls an unrivaled opportunity to develop strong values and contribute to society as a leader, thinker, and responsible citizen. Today, Girl Scouts remains a highly regarded organization and a steadfast advocate for girls. Troop 1912 is an honorary Girl Scout troop for adults who aspire to serve as role models and be a voice that shapes the next generation of leaders. As a member of Troop 1912, you are committed to financially partnering with Girl Scouts of California Central Coast and advocating for Girl Scouts both council-wide and in your community. You can join today by visiting girlscoutsccc.org/donate. Everything will be linked in the chat box below.
Now we're going to have an impactful conversation about courage with Cynthia Vernon and Monta Potter. Monta, we talk about Girl Scouts being of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Can you give me an example of when you needed to use your courage to stand up or help make a change?
Great question. I've thought about this. I think one time I had to be really courageous was when I was 37 years old and I was selected to be the CEO of a Girl Scout council. And I was supervising people who were older than me, and I had not been a CEO before, and so it took some courage. I was scared, had to just dive in. All my Girl Scouting helped.
You lead an amazing organization, Monterey Bay Aquarium, which I would love to be one of your volunteers in the tanks with the fishes. Let's talk about the courage you need almost on a daily basis.
Well, I think it's been really called into play during this last year with the pandemic and all of the decisions that we've had to make at the aquarium to ensure its long-term viability. Everything from expense reductions to staff layoffs, all of those things to really make sure in the long run that we can survive. And all of that has really taken a lot of courage on behalf of all of the staff who had to make some of those very, very hard decisions. And so I've drawn a lot on my Girl Scout experience in terms of leading with empathy and compassion, listening, and but ultimately having to make some of those hard decisions.
How do you think you built courage as a girl and then crossed it over into an as an adult?
Well, through my career, which was 30 years as a CEO of nonprofits, I had to do public speaking a lot. And every time anybody asked me, how did you learn to be brave or confident public speaking, I always said Girl Scouts. And that happened as I was, I was a Girl Scout from second grade to senior, and you get progressively more leadership opportunities, so that I was standing in front of other girls leading songs and organizing a troop and that kind of thing. So the whole experience of leading others and speaking in public is where I honed those skills. And through my career, people have always said, wow, where'd that come from? And I would say, Girl Scouts.
Cynthia, what about you? Any impactful moments of using courage as a girl that brought you into the adult world?
Well, like Monta, I attribute all of my leadership skills and anything that I've been able to accomplish to my experiences as a Girl Scout. Everything from leading others to public speaking, like Monta. But also I think just being a caring, listening, kind person, somebody who looks out for other people.
I have mentors in my life from my youth that have followed me all the way through adultship. Can you tell me a couple of the mentors that you've had?
Well, I have many experiences with great mentors throughout my whole life as well. But one of the things that I really remember is even as a grade schooler, I wanted to work with animals. And I think that that was really fostered by my Girl Scout leaders, other folks that I was in camp with, so camp counselors, who really fostered that love of the outdoors, love of animals. And I knew from a very early age that I wanted to be a naturalist. So I've come pretty close to that in my job now, leading an aquarium and working in zoos prior to working in the Monterey Bay Aquarium. So I really attribute a lot of what I do now to the experiences that I had when I was a kid going to camp and camping with my Girl Scout troop.
That's amazing to have that passion fostered and Girl Scouts and in your youth and see where you are today at one of the most worldly recognized aquariums there is.
Yeah, it's great to have had those experiences, being outdoors, learning about animals and really fostering that love of nature at an early age.
I'm envious of your job, just so you know. I think it would be, it's everything there is that I look to, and I think it's really cool that somebody that far, that long ago fed your passion to lead you where you are today.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome. Why is it important in today's time to have more female leadership?
Well, I think in order to be successful in whatever business, company we have, it's really, really important to have diverse voices, and especially female voices, which have been traditionally not heard at the highest levels. So I think in order to really get at where we need to be in the future, it's really, really important to have that diversity of thought, of intellect, of ideas. So all of those are super important in order to be successful as a company.
So Girl Scouting grows leaders, and I think female leadership is just so important in this world. I think there's a different type of leadership that comes from women who look at the world a little bit differently in so many ways. I think it takes a lot of courage. It's sometimes a man's world, and I think these Girl Scouts who have been leading since they were young have the courage to speak up and to lead in different ways. Courageously, but maybe softer, less warlike. It's just a different kind of leadership, and this world would benefit from more Girl Scouts and more female leadership everywhere.
And I just want to thank you, ladies, for being there, for coming here and having this chat, and also for being a alum. That's extremely engaging. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Now it's my honor to introduce you to this year's adults being recognized for the Girl Scouts of California Central Coast Council Awards. I want to thank you for all that you do to give girls the experience of Girl Scouting.
The Art McLaughlin Award recognizes an exemplary male volunteer who has contributed 2 or more years in any capacity that supports Girl Scouts of California Central Coast. Congratulations to this year's honoree, Stuart Hall. The Fund Development Award recognizes a volunteer whose outstanding service has provided financial support to the Council through contributions of in-kind donations, grants, corporate, foundations, and endowments, and major gifts. Girl Scouts of California's Central Coast is honored to recognize Rod Dewar as this year's Fund Development honoree. Rod Dewar was highly involved in the Monterey Bay community for over 65 years. Rod, along with his wife Sue, focused his energies on improving people's lives on the Monterey Peninsula. They gave generously to many local educational and artistic institutions. Rod was man enough to be a Girl Scout, and his legacy will live on through time, passion, and generous contributions that he made towards Girl Scouts of California's Central Coast. For over 22 years, Rod continued to share how much he believed in the power of Girl Scouts as we built women of courage, confidence, and character. Rod was a dream builder, helping to bring life to the program centers and adventures that powered the girls' experiences and memories. Rod will be deeply missed amongst the Girl Scout family, but we are so incredibly thankful for the legacy he left for our Girl Scout movement. Each year, Girl Scouts of California's Central Coast celebrates our Girl Scout of the Year. This honoree exemplifies through both words and actions the highest ideals of character, conduct, patriotism, and service, while upholding the mission of Girl Scouts. She has held leadership positions in both Girl Scouts and within her community. She embodies the Girl Scout promise and law both during Girl Scouts and day to day. This year, we are excited to honor Dylan Zuleta as Girl Scout of the Year. The Heritage Award recognizes an individual's exemplary service in sharing the history of Girl Scouting in the U.S. and Girl Scouts of California Central Coast with its members in the community, thereby furthering the Girl Scout mission. Thank you to the following individuals who have volunteered to share our history with others: Marcia Hill, Lisa McKinney, Kathy Medley, Sue Roth. These honorees have gone above and beyond during our council's entrepreneurial programs. Thank you to the following volunteers who have helped lead the way: Heather Ainsworth and Patty Bly. This award recognizes our male volunteers that have gone above and beyond in service of Girl Scouts. Thank you for being man enough to be a Girl Scout: Jake Duguid, Keith Epperson, Mike Helmuth, Erasmo San Juan. These leaders provide girls with exceptional leadership opportunities through exemplary implementation of the girl-led model. Congratulations to our volunteers on Regional Leader of the Year: Sonia Lynn from Monterey County, Annie Serrano from San Benito County, Jennifer Pamplin from Santa Barbara County, Fawn Demetio from Santa Cruz County, Megan Salatka from San Luis Obispo County, Gladys Ochengo from Ventura County. The Super Service Unit Award recognizes a service unit volunteer who has gone above and beyond providing time, skills, and leadership in her or his role of the service unit team. Congratulations to the following volunteers from the following service units: Teresa Carter, Service Unit 552, Space and Sea; Amy Finley, Service Unit 555, Costa de Oro; Charlene Garfinkel, Service Unit 555, Costa de Oro; Tatiana Inoue, Service Unit 656, Rancho Sierra Vista; Heidi Jameson, Service Unit 657, Moore Park. Joe Heckner was a devoted supporter of Ventura County nonprofits for the last 24 years. As a veteran of the Marine Corps, service above self was no stranger to Joe. His passion to support female leadership was inspired by his late wife, Mary. Joe had a zest for life and always looked for an opportunity to celebrate. Girl Scouts of California's Central Coast Fork It Over event was no exception, and Joe's favorite place to celebrate. Cookies, networking, and celebrating girls' pursuit as entrepreneurs powered Joe's excitement for how our girls would change the world in his last few years. Most recently, Joe was committed to leaving a legacy for girls that would promote growth and connections to one another. His generous gift helped develop the Joseph and Mary Heckner Community Orchard at Camp Arnez. We have since planted 60 fruit-bearing trees to help create an outdoor space where girls can connect, discover, and take action. With each tree planted in the orchard, we will celebrate Joe's legacy and his belief that girls have the power to be anything they set out to be. We will miss Joe, but we know that every time we visit that orchard, Joe is with us there in spirit.
My favorite thing about Girl Scouts is going camping and outdoor cooking with my troop.
My favorite thing about Girl Scouts is making new friends and attending camps and earning badges.
My favorite thing about Girl Scouts is being able to learn new skills and teach them to younger Scouts.
I love Girl Scouts because I get to help those in need.
I love Girl Scouts because my troop and I get to host events where we can interact and teach younger Girl Scouts.
My favorite thing about Girl Scouts is World Thinking Day.
My favorite thing to do at Girl Scouts is going camping. My favorite thing about Girl Scouts is I can hang out with my Girl Scout sisters and meet new Girl Scout sisters.
Now we're going to be talking to two ladies about confidence, both elected officials, and boy, if you needed confidence, that's the area you're going to need it. We're going to be speaking with Jan Marks and Heidi Harmon. Ladies, thank you for joining us today. Mayor Heidi and Council Member Jan, I'd like to ask you a couple questions, but really my first thought comes to mind is, can you give me a time in your life you really needed to look at have the confidence to do something that you felt was very challenging?
Yeah, thank you. I honestly feel like every single day I have to recommit to that sense of inner confidence and trusting myself and knowing my worth. I think that it's, especially in this divisive time of the last many years, and the negativity that I think we probably all receive if you're in the public eye to any extent, you have to be mindful that you don't listen to that and that you know yourself and get up every single day and have the confidence to commit to this community and to commit to making the world a better place.
What gave you the confidence to run for city office?
Among other things, a lot of people were urging me to do it. So, you know, I felt like I had the support. And a lot of it was from men. Most of my mentors were male because I was the only woman on the city council for quite a while.
It's interesting to hear you reflect on being the only female on council because now we do have the first all-female city council in our city, San Luis Obispo City.
So yeah.
And
there we go.
Two former Girl Scouts at least. I don't know, we'd have to ask the rest of the squad if they're all former Girl Scouts as well, but Jan and I are both there.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, we talked about having a mentor, especially you, Jan, you having male mentors to bring you into civic engagement. A lot of our girls today want to be civically engaged. How do you give them the courage to, one, seek a mentor? Because, like you said, Mayor, only 20% of elected officials are women. We need more gender equality in that. How do we get them the confidence to run for elected office? Who can they go to?
Well, I would start out small myself. That's, you know, volunteering for any kind of nonprofit is a good place to start. And then the city of San Luis Obispo has got advisory bodies, and serving on an advisory body is a really good way to learn about the city, kind of from the point of view of the inner workings of it, you know.
I would say too, the thing that really comes to mind is using your voice. And especially the younger you are, to cultivate that, I think that's just so important for women and girls in general, whether you end up running for office or not. Mm-hmm. So much of our culture is about silencing female voices. Mm-hmm. And girls are getting that from birth pretty much. In the culture and the commercials and the things they're watching, it's pretty much everywhere, and so it takes a lot of confidence to step up and stand up and say, hey, I have something to say, and my voice matters too. And so I think that's one thing that I wish I had had more opportunity to do as a young girl and woman, because when I finally decided to run for office, that was very nerve-wracking, right? That's something that keeps a lot of girls and women from running for office. Public speaking can be quite scary for folks, and I think especially for women who have been told in a myriad of ways to be smaller, to be silent. And so I think that's something that I would really love to see girls focus on, is really standing up and stepping up and using their voice to express themselves.
Excellent.
One barrier that was pretty concrete that I know I broke is that I went to a university where they let in 4 men for every 1 woman. It was called the ratio. So I was admitted. That meant that already I was probably smarter and more capable than most of the guys.
That was their policy? They would only let in?
That was at Stanford University.
They wouldn't let any more than that?
Right. It was called the ratio. It was like a quota system. I got the message pretty quickly that I was supposed to be quiet and not raise my hand so much, and all that. And I ignored it.
Ladies, is there a time in your life that like a pivotal moment that gave you the confidence to do what you're doing today?
Well, I have a story that goes back to grade 5. Mrs. Luckemeyer was my teacher, and we had to go around and say what we wanted to be when we grew up. And I said, I want to be a waitress in an Italian restaurant that has red and white checked tablecloths, because my father had taken me out to an Italian restaurant for our birthday, and I just was in heaven. And she said, Jan, you're too smart. You're going to go to college and you're going to do well. So just forget about being a waitress. And I went, oh, I have to go to college? It's like that. So there was a moment where it was, again, someone recognizing something in me that was beyond my expectations of myself.
Ladies, when we talk about COVID pandemic and the whole change of lifestyle right now, do you have words of wisdom for helping girls with the confidence in this new norm that we're faced with today?
Well, I think one of the things that COVID's amplified all the trends that were pre-existing in COVID, and one of the major ones obviously is shifting to the virtual space. So I think this is something to be really aware of and sort of fight against if you can. Social media can be and is a way of connecting, and it is also a mechanism for harm too. And I know that a lot of young people are very much embedded into social media, and I know personally I've experienced a lot of attacks via social media that have been hard for me to navigate day after day.
Just develop kind of mental armor to protect yourself. And I think we really, especially young women, need to protect themselves and each other. So that's another good reason to have Girl Scouts.
You hear in the background, there's some ladies talking, so they're running a cyberbullying program across Zoom right now. So we do put a tremendous amount of education and tools in the girls' hands to help give them the confidence to disengage from the keyboard and to ignore, because in class, somebody would say something as they're walking by you and it would be gone. But in the virtual world, it stays for a longer platform. So they just have to have the resiliency and the tools and the confidence to disengage. So that's what we continue to push on and provide training and programs.
That's great.
It is.
Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you. And thank you, ladies, for attending and talking to us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
The Go-Getter Award recognizes a volunteer who puts her or his goals into action, pursues leadership positions, and perseveres through challenges. Congratulations to our volunteer go-getters: Fabiola Abarca, Laura Achi, Adrina Aguilera, Kristen Ackel, Rosario Amador, Renee Athy, Arceli Avila, Sonia Bear, Deborah Baker, Rihanna Banks, Diane Bassachuri, Michelle Berard, Kelly Bellingeri, Jacqueline Bishop, Colleen Blanton, Karen Baumler, Angela Brooks, Rachel Bryan, Juliana Canales, Meryl Castro, Marissa Colley, Shasta Seller, Erica Cervantes, Beverly Christian, Amanda Constanza, Sarah Dalton, Amy Dubinsky, Marissa Duran, Marissa Elliott, Anis Escobar, Violeta Esperanza Renier, Didi Forster, Juana Garcia, Jessica Garcia, Aaron Golding, Carrie Haber, Margaret Hall, Jessica Harper, Joanne Hendrick, Jenny Hicks, Deborah Yeager, Amy Jones, Michelle Kennett, Tracy Clotter, Heather Nodler, Kim Lackey, Arceli Larson, Melissa Leffler, Debbie Lewis, Jennifer Lipman, Elizabeth Lobo, Shannon Lomelli, Jennifer Mahal, Jennifer Martin, Elizabeth Merson, Robin Morris, Megan Moya, Kavitha Nahar, Samantha Orlemans, Maria Alarte, Jody Owen, Tanya Perez, Christine Perry, Deirdre Quinn, Belinda Reyna, Gloria Sains, Alyssa Sahor, Teresa Sample, Laura Slagle, Amanda Sturgis Melby, Dawn Trago, Jillian Van Eckelvort, Connie Wilkinson, Jennifer Woods, Anita Wilson. The Innovator Award recognizes a volunteer who uses creativity to imagine and implement solutions. An innovator brings new ideas that benefit a troop or service unit or provides a spark to enhance current activities or events. Congratulations to our volunteers: Carla Basalda, Lisa Beasley, Michelle Blassingame, Amy Boso, Janet Castron, Lauren DeBalt, Shelley Donahue, Kathy Elder, Colleen Elliott, Mary Fittipaldi, Janine Gonzalez, Stacy Hall, Marissa Huntley, Melissa Kibrick, Glenda Learn, Laura Mascry, Carissa McCann, Janine McCluskey, Caitlin McCord, Heather Miranda, Stacy Mitchell, Stacy Morrissey, Jenny Nelson, Rachel Peterson, Venus Powell, Annie Steiger, Brianna Wilcox. The Leader Award recognizes a volunteer who listens to opinions and feelings different from his or her own. He or she handles conflict with compassion and clear communication. A leader works hard to bring positive change to the world and builds team spirit while bringing people together. Congratulations to our volunteer leaders: Erica Adler, Cindy Barcelona, Adria Beeman, Judy Bradshaw, Sarah Budson, Melanie Kasperi, Leslie Crable, Katie Elias, Carrie Erb, Heather Fleshman, Diana Galloway, Melissa Gibson, Heather Gout, Molly Harrison, Adele Herman, Tammy Hong, Amanda Hubbard, Jennifer Cotto, Rebecca Magdalene, Nina Moriyama, Kaylin Patchett Lewis, Karen Reeder, Imelda Rojo Cedillo, Allison Sayer, Carol Schmidt, Myra Totten, Christine Zaka, Margie Cruiser, Emily Millar. The Risk Taker Award recognizes a volunteer who seeks new experiences and new adventures. They step outside their comfort zone to provide the best experience for girls, or they take positive action on issues in the community. Congratulations to our volunteers for being risk takers. Sarah Abrams, Amanda Ashley, Sarah Brownlee, Tracy Cano, Heather Daniels, Michelle Leister-Kadire, Stephanie Mancha, Carrie McCrud, Deborah Vaughn.
Now more than ever, our girls, their families, and their communities need our support. Please consider making a gift today. Today, you can be a part of the impact. You can help us transform the life of a Girl Scout like me. Can we count on your support?
I love Girl Scouts because I get to sell Girl Scout cookies and go to service unit events.
I love Girl Scouts because my troop and I get to host events where we can interact and teach younger Girl Scouts.
Girl Scouts has given me lots of leadership opportunities, public speaking practice, and determination. I love Girl Scouts because I get to go camping with my troop and learning outdoor skills like cooking, cleaning, building a tent, and starting a fire.
My favorite thing about Girl Scouts is doing big events with other troops. I love Girl Scouts because I get to experience new opportunities and meet new people.
Girl Scouts has given me optimism, good decision-making skills, and leadership.
Now we're going to turn it over to two of our last year's Women of Distinction honorees, Selena Zacharias and Maria Ventura, to have a conversation about character.
Women and girls of today need to have strong character. When I think of character, I think of being authentic, having your voice heard, and what you say, you do. I think about times in my life professionally when, for example, I knew a colleague perhaps needed a little extra help, a word of encouragement, or just some extra support, being there to help them and letting them know at the end of the day we're in this together. That's character. I want people to know and understand that when they work with me, my expectation is that we're all going to be better off for it. I want to add value and be a friend and ally. When you think of strong character, what does that mean for you, Selena?
For me, Maria, strong character means, being responsible, being respectful, and always being very compassionate and bringing them all together, because you're right, is that at the end of the day, we have to work collaboratively in order to get things done, get projects done, but also is to make a difference in this world. Building character is a lifelong journey. It doesn't just stop at certain different points in your life. As a youth, you develop these sense of responsibilities. You start developing a sense of respect. And for example, as myself, I grew up in a very loving family, and without even knowing it, while it wasn't something traditional where you go pick strawberries with your mother or your father out in the fields, I did that. And believe it or not, when you're living that moment, it's difficult and it's challenging, but at the same time, it has built a tremendous work ethic that I have embedded throughout my entire career. And so as a youth, you develop those senses of responsibility, and then when you transition into an adult, it's a different world, but the same type of aspects and responsibilities stay with you. Do you have any examples, Maria?
I think about, while my story may differ, I think the core principles are fundamentally the same. I grew up in an urban area, Los Angeles area, and my family did not work on farms. However, they did have factory jobs and other blue-collar type of work. And what I really remember thinking and what helped shape my character was I saw their sacrifice and how hard they worked and how hard it was for them to be a first-generation American, learn the language, learn the system, and for me, as their child, not to honor and respect their sacrifice by trying to pursue professional and personal excellence, that helped build character in me. As an adult, how I transition that is I try to do the right thing even when people aren't watching. And I think that's really important because it's easy to sometimes say, no, I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to cut corners here. But at the end of the day, if people don't respect or don't believe in your word, that's your character. And that's all you have at the end of the day. When I have the opportunity to speak to students or other young adults, often the topic of breaking barriers comes up. And I share with them, it's very important to have confidence in what you have to say, that you add value, and not to second guess yourself. You could always come up with examples. Am I too inexperienced? Am I too young? Am I the only female at the table? I've had all of that experience. And I can remember one time being the only woman at the table and people talking over me, and I said something and they kept speaking. And I remember telling them, I actually would like to complete my thought. And I inserted myself and I said what I needed to add. And the team did actually agree with what I was saying, but it was having that confidence to say, at least internally, I will not have you speak over me. What I have to say is important, and you owe me the respect to hear me out. Selena, what are examples, or how do you envision breaking barriers? What does that look like for you?
Well, you know, Maria, breaking barriers, I think, has been a part of who I've been because, first of all, being the first woman in my family, or first person in my family to go off to college, I broke that barrier. And now I'm very lucky to work at California State University, Channel Islands, where every day I help students, I help parents by reaching out to them and letting them know the possibilities of the importance of higher education and how it will transform their lives for generations to come. We're taking so many different farm worker families and students and just completely transforming the DNA of their family and their trajectory and embedding in them the endless amount of possibilities that exist. Can you imagine that? And it's not just about providing access to these families to higher education, but the most important part, Maria, is making sure that they're successful and that finish that 4-year degree. And my hope is that they go beyond that.
Absolutely. And it also resonates, and I remember a moment that I had when I was a very young adult, when someone as a first-generation American, and I too was first to graduate high school, even in my family, but I remember this gentleman telling me, you're smart, you should pursue a master's degree. I was only 18. No one had even implanted that idea in my mind. So it's exciting to hear what the university is doing. It's like inspiring others to dream even bigger than what they possibly imagined for themselves.
I was often told as a child, dream big, but you have to remember, dream big coming from a farm worker family means I wanted to be the best strawberry picker there was because that's the world I came from, that's what I knew. But so now when we're telling kids to dream big, let's teach them how to dream big.
As I think about what built character in my youth, I remember my mother sharing stories, and she's a very well-read woman. She loves to read, but she shared with me with lament, I wanted to study, but I wasn't allowed to because I was a girl. And I really reflect that even as a really young girl, I have free education that's available to me. It's a shame if I don't take advantage of it. Here's a person like my mother, very smart, could have absolutely become a professional, but was denied that by her own father because she was female. My company supports diversity and inclusion and believes everybody's voice is important. And it's a natural fit to be involved with the Girl Scouts. As I reflect on advice or perhaps a kind word I could share with a young woman or young girl is not to be overly concerned with being perceived as being nice. And what I mean by that, obviously be kind, but I think sometimes that could hold women back or second guess themselves. Oh, I come across too harsh. Oh, were they not like me after that? You need to be authentic in your voice and really project what you want to share, what you believe is important. Holding yourself back or muzzling yourself with, I must be nice at all times, I think can hold you back. I believe that's also very important. And the other piece of why me, on a personal level, why I participate with Girl Scouts is I think about that young girl who may be watching me now. If she can see it, she can be it. Perhaps like she was like myself when I was a young girl. I didn't see somebody in my image in a professional role. And I could only imagine what would have been like, my 8-year-old mind, my 7-year-old mind, if I had seen somebody who looked like me in a professional role. Perhaps it would have made my imagination spin a little bit more, and I've thought about other things I could have done or been. So I believe for the professional or personal reasons, there's no other place I'd rather be than here with Girl Scouts.
Hi, I'm Charlie and I'm a Cadet Girl Scout, and I've been doing Girl Scouts since I was in kindergarten. During the last year with COVID, I've been able to do a lot of things with Girl Scouts, like doing a bunch of patches and activities. Even if you're not in a troop, you can also do things with people that are in a troop. When you get old enough, you can help with younger Girl Scouts earn patches and badges and do fun activities with them. Girl Scouts is helping me prepare for college by introducing me to different careers or areas that I could have a career in, like science, like STEM or economics. My favorite Girl Scout memory would be helping younger troops sell cookies or doing fun activities or badges or doing the Cooking with E classes. People should support Girl Scouts because it helps girls have confidence and learn basic life skills.
My name is Tammy Trejo, and I'm the Senior Data Analyst for Girl Scouts of California Central Coast. What I do for Girl Scouts is manage multiple data systems to make better business decisions. Employee of the Year, to me, it's a huge honor and a privilege. I hope to be the first of many, and to be able to accomplish this title in such a prestige organization is a motivation for me to want to do more. During COVID, we had a momentous thing happen. History was made. And it's time to do our part. Make every girl feel welcome and be a sister to every Girl Scout. You never know what impact you can make to a fellow sister. What I've learned from working with Girl Scouts is that to be more supportive of girls and women. So no matter what their beliefs are, their race, religion, just to be supportive of one another. There's no right or wrong. It's just to support in each other's journeys, basically. If I could give other staff of Girl Scouts one piece of advice, it would be always give it your all. We do everything for a greater purpose. It's to make a difference in girls' lives. And when you give it your all, push a little bit more, because there might be a girl looking at you, and seeing you persevere will encourage her to do the same.
My name is Dylan. I'm 15 years old and I've been in Girl Scouts for 10 years. I'm so grateful to have been given the opportunity to be a lot more involved in my community and to give back to my community, because ever since I first started Girl Scouts, I earned the Presidential Volunteer Service Award, and having that experience and having that achievement has kind of continued into me trying to be involved in clubs and doing even bigger Take Action projects. When I was bridging from junior to cadet, I got to participate in the national bridging ceremony across the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. So that was a really fun and unique experience. And recently I was appointed as the National Council Delegate Alternate, and I got to go to the National Council session this past October, and that was also a lot of fun. I think Girl Scouts has changed my life in a lot of different ways, big and small, from just learning survival skills like how to build a fire and how to go camping. I don't think I would ever have gotten to go camping without Girl Scouts. And on a bigger scale, it's taught me to be a lot more confident and sure of myself, because when I first joined Girl Scouts, I was really shy, but now I feel a lot more able to at least hide my shyness, and I think Girl Scouts contributed to that a lot. Without Girl Scouts, I definitely wouldn't have some of my closest friends. A big part of my support network is made up of Girl Scouts, and even the girls that I'm not in a troop with anymore, I'm still friends with them and I care about them to this day. I think if I had to give one piece of advice to current or future Girl Scouts, I would say to definitely take advantage of all the opportunities that Girl Scouts has to offer. Whatever you're interested in, there's a way to kind of personalize your Girl Scout experience to pursue your interests, and there's just so many different programs and people who want to see you succeed and pursue those passions. And I would also say to try to go outside your comfort zone, even if you aren't super interested in it, to just make sure to try as many things as you can, because it's always good to have that experience under your belt, even if you don't want to do it again. I'm so thankful to a lot of people from all of my troop leaders, starting with Sam and Haley, who introduced me to Girl Scouts and were the troop leaders of my first troop, to Tammy and Yvonne and my mom, who are my current troop leaders. And I'm also thankful for all of the volunteers in the service unit who put on all these programs, like Girl Scout Summer Camp was such an important part of my summers growing up. And I want to thank all of the council team and the board and Tammy Helmuth, our CEO, because I didn't know this before, but as a delegate, I've seen so much more of the behind the scenes and everything they do to keep the council operating, so I'm really grateful for them. I try to embody what the Girl Scout philosophy is. And when I think of representing the Girl Scout organization, I think it really boils down to having integrity and being responsible not just for my own actions, but also for the world around me, and trying to make the world a better place. And being a leader in that effort, whether that's just leading by example and being kind to everyone, or actually more traditionally leading projects and community service and clubs. And I know so many girls who I think could fit that description, and so I'm just so honored to be considered among their company. I think Girl Scouts has been helping me prepare for college because it's teaching me to be more responsible and independent. With cookie sales, I've been learning how to advocate for myself and how to ask for help, and entrepreneurial skills, and leading my troop, I've learned how to collaborate with all my troop members, and we've all learned how to make decisions together. And I think that's really important when you go off to college and you're maybe living on your own for the first time. I know I'm hoping to be, and I think Girl Scouts has definitely prepared me to be more responsible with taking care of myself, and academically being in charge of my studies and turning in my homework, and even more so than I already do. One of my favorite things about the organization is how it allows us girls to try new things and explore and experiment and not really worry about what we look like while we're trying new things. We don't have to worry about succeeding all of the time, and we can go outside our comfort zone. And I think that's what I love about Girl Scouts, is that it creates this safe space for girls.
All right, you heard from Dylan, you heard from Charlie, you've seen some of the girls, and I want you to know we are halfway through our fundraising goal. Thank you ever so much. We've reached over $28,000. We're not done yet. Our goal is to raise $65,000 through this event. I'm going to, I think there's a graph up, so we'll see that. Now I want to let you know, we're so excited to honor our 6 women of distinction. These are absolutely amazing women, as most of our volunteers are. But I want you to take a look, and here is a quick snapshot or the introduction of all of our women. Please take the time. There will be videos, or I'm sorry, there are videos out there on our social media platforms. I believe they're going to be put in the chat. Take the time, watch, and get to know these amazing women of distinction for 2021.
Keisha Browder is the Chief Executive Officer with United Way of Santa Cruz County. She is the first African American and person of color to serve as CEO in the United Way's 80-year history in Santa Cruz. Keisha is an experienced nonprofit executive with a 20-year career in community development, education, youth success, and philanthropy throughout the United States. She leads multiple countrywide initiatives addressing issues from academic success to youth violence prevention and criminal justice reform. These initiatives have earned national recognition for their equity-centered approaches to creating cultures of health, including the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation's Culture of Health Prize. In addition to being part of the design team that developed the nation's first citywide after-school system, Keisha also leads the United States' longest-serving community assessment project, a tracking of well-being assessment and utilization of community data that includes the voice of the residents. Many of United Way's initiatives, including Jóvenes Sanos and Youth Action Network, have earned national recognition. Keisha co-authored Leveraging Data for Meaningful Improvements, how credible data enables partnership alignment to achieve well-being at the population level. She serves on several boards that reflect her values of equity, integrity, compassion, and dignity to create healthy, thriving, and safe communities for all. These include the United Way Worldwide Equity Advisory Council, Santa Cruz County Health Improvement Partnership, Dignity Health Dominican Hospital Community Advisory, Digital Nest Advisory, Santa Cruz Nonprofit Connection, Girl Scouts of California Central Coast, and Monarch Services. Keisha is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Silicon Valley chapter of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, and the Watsonville chapter of Soroptimus International. She is a graduate of the University of Washington and the Stanford University Graduate School of Business Executive Program for Nonprofit Leaders. She started her Girl Scout journey as a Girl Scout in 1985 in Compton, California, as one of the first African American troops in her Girl Scout Council. She attributes her commitment to youth success and dedication to serving her community of Santa Cruz to her experience in Girl Scouting. She is a trailblazer for our next generation of female leaders. Congratulations, Keisha, on your honor as this year's Woman of Distinction. Dean Amy S Fleischer from Cal Poly College of Engineering is a passionate advocate for women's leadership in engineering and diverse environments throughout the engineering community. As a third-generation Girl Scout and recipient of the Silver Award, Dean Fleischer has served in leadership roles both with Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania and now with Girl Scouts of California's Central Coast. She has actively promoted science, technology, engineering, and math to a group typically underrepresented in STEM. As an educator, Dean Fleischer has advanced opportunity and fairness in the STEM field. At Cal Poly, she has focused her efforts on justice, equity, and inclusion, working with college leadership to implement university-wide goals. She works diligently to increase safe and accessible learning environments for all students, and she encourages innovation through the unique projects and programs. As the leader of one of the nation's most highly rated engineering schools, Dean Fleischer has represented Cal Poly at statewide and national events and regularly advocates for STEM funding and public education and the CSU on Capitol Hill. Before arriving at Cal Poly, Dean Fleischer was the chair of mechanical engineering and director of the National Science Foundation Center for Energy Smart Electronic Systems at Villanova University. At Villanova University, she founded and led Engineering is for Girls Day at the university for 8 years. She also led the steering committee which established the McNulty Institute for Women's Leadership Development. Dean Fleischer received her PhD from the University of Minnesota and her MSME and BSME from Villanova University. Her area of expertise is the design of nanostructured energy materials for transient thermal management of electronics, or the development and study of nanostructured thin films for use as thermal interface materials. Dean Fleischer is married to Paul Fleischer. Their daughter Katie is a Gold Award Girl Scout and current senior at Smith College. Katie is using the skills she learned in Girl Scouts to pursue a career in advocacy. Congratulations, Dean Amy Fleischer, on your honor as Woman of Distinction. Carrie Mueller grew up in a small town just outside of New Orleans. She was a Girl Scout for 3 years, and one of her fondest memories is attending a weekend of patrol leader camp. Carrie has been an adult Girl Scout volunteer for 26 years, 25 of those being with Girl Scouts of California Central Coast, and one with the Tres Condados Girl Scout Council. A resident of Simi Valley since 1996, Carrie was fortunate to stay home and raise her 2 children, Amy and Eric. She's been married to her husband Peter for 34 years. Carrie is well versed in her service as a Girl Scout volunteer. She was a co-leader for 2 years before becoming the leader of a troop, served as her service unit's fall fund chair, and worked Simi Valley Day Camp before eventually stepping up as co-director and then service unit manager. In the past, she has served on the Gold Award Committee, Board Nominating Committee, Arnez Strategic Planning Committee, and chaired the Southern Hub for the 100th Girl Scout birthday event. Carrie also served on the Kaleidoscope Committee for the years 2013, 2015, 2019, and most recently in 2021. She has served on the Heritage Committee since 2012 and currently sits on the Membership Connection Committee representing her service unit. Carrie says that her passion for volunteering began with a yearly holiday party that her school choir hosted for children with Down syndrome. For the last 2 years, she has been involved with For the Troops, a nonprofit organization based in Simi Valley that sends care packages to members of the military serving overseas and chaired auctions for both of their major fundraising events. In the past, she has served as a PTA member and president. Carrie currently volunteers at the Simi Valley Senior Center with the Senior Share Food Program. Her grandmother has been the source of her inspiration, showing Carrie what it means to be a strong, confident, and successful woman while making sure to help others. Girl Scouts has played a large role in Carrie's journey, allowing her to get out of her comfort zone, often by having girls join her to try something new. Congratulations, Carrie, on your 2021 Woman of Distinction honor.
Girl Scouts has given me confidence to be kind to everyone and stand up for people who are being bullied.
Girl Scouts has given me friends and better understanding of my community.
Girl Scouts has taught me skills I could use in the real world.
Girl Scouts has taught me to be considerate. Girl Scouts has given me confidence.
Our girls need your help more than ever. Coming out of COVID into the new normal of what life will look like, our girls need to come back into Girl Scouts to have that outdoors and team building gatherings. We're hoping you can be a part of their success. Please help my team raise $65,000 through this event to give the experience of Girl Scouting to our girls. We've been together for 109 years in Girl Scouting, and we have a proven history of building girls of courage, confidence, and character who do make changes and better our world. Please consider donating today. Click the link and be a part of a girl's life.
Denise Sheetinger began her career in law enforcement as a reserve police officer with the Santa Paula Police Department. In 1996, she joined the Oxnard Police Department as a police officer. She has served as a patrol officer, field training officer, K-9 handler, sexual assault child crimes detective, narcotics detective, member of the Honor Guard, and member of the Trauma Support Team. In 2013, Denise received a promotion to the rank of sergeant and worked both in the Field Services Bureau as a patrol sergeant and in the Administrative Services Bureau as an internal affairs sergeant. Denise was promoted to the rank of commander in 2017. She served in the Field Services Bureau as a Patrol Watch Commander and as the Patrol Support Division Commander, overseeing the Traffic Unit, Booking Unit, Community Service Officers, Animal Safety Unit, and all special events. In 2020, she was selected as the Professional Standards Division Commander, where she managed the Internal Affairs Unit, Personnel and Training Unit, and the department's peer support team. This year, Denise received a promotion to Assistant Police Chief. She currently leads the Investigative Services and Administrative Services Bureau. Denise volunteers her time as a youth mentor with the Oxnard Police Activities League and as a member of the Seroptimus International of Oxnard, a global organization whose members volunteer to improve the lives of women and girls through programs leading to social and economic empowerment. She is the current treasurer of the Oxnard Public Safety Managers Association and a former executive board member of the Drag Youth Automotive Program. Denise was raised in the city of Oxnard. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management from Kaplan University and a Master of Arts degree in Organizational Leadership from Gonzaga University. Her love of Girl Scouts started when she gave her first tour of the police station to one of our Girl Scout troops. She was able to share different career paths within the police department and able to share her day-to-day job as a K-9 handler. As Assistant Police Chief, she works with her community to solve problems and must think critically, not unlike what Girl Scouts learn through Girl Scout programs. Denise is a great role model as a female leader in law enforcement, allowing our girls to see themselves in positions like this in their future careers. She said it best, if they can see it, they can dream it, and they can be it. Congratulations, Denise, on your honor for this year's Women of Distinction. Erica Santiago has been involved with Girl Scouts of California Central Coast for 3 years as a client liaison for Insperity. Erica joined Insperity in March 2016 as an HR specialist and in January 2018 transitioned into the client liaison role. Erica loves solving complex challenges and makes sure everyone she serves has a great experience. Before Insperity, Erica provided HR support in the aerospace manufacturing industry for 2 years. And for 11 years, she held numerous managerial positions for a Fortune 500 retail company. Erica received an Associates of Science in Biology from Pierce College and a Bachelor's of Science in Business Management from California Lutheran University, making her the first person to graduate college in her family. As an immigrant and an individual who did not speak English at the age of 10, Erica is a strong believer in personal and professional development. She became part of Inspirity's Leadership Academy in 2020, and she is a member of accredited resource organizations which enable her to stay relevant for her clients. When she is not volunteering at her local organizations, she enjoys participating in business-related events that help expand and grow her network. Erica is a true servant leader who is very supportive of her clients and colleagues. Her level of care, enthusiasm, and dedication goes beyond the norm to help everyone she encounters. Congratulations, Erica, on this year's honor of Women of Distinction. Michelle Yee is the local markets organization market executive for Bank of America, serving the Ventura and Santa Barbara areas in California. She is responsible for business integration, strategic planning, and coordinating. She also leverages the bank's local philanthropic contributions, manages events and sponsorships, and facilitates relationships with the community and opinion leaders. Michelle joined Bank of America in 2008 as part of the Global HR Development Program. While in the program, she supported consumer banking as a leadership development consultant. Michelle was also a Diversity and Inclusion Enterprise Program Manager, responsible for oversight of the employee network and support of the Global Diversity and Inclusion Council. Most recently, she was a Human Resources Manager for Global Technology and Operations, Global Compliance and Corporate Audit, and Market HR Partner for Bakersfield. Michelle received a Master's of Business Administration from Kennan Flagler Business School at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from the University of California, Los Angeles. She currently lives in Ventura County after living in North Carolina for 8 years. She is married and has 2 children. She enjoys playing sports, especially volleyball, and loves traveling. Michelle was an integral part of coordinating our financial literacy virtual badge workshop in a 9-week program for all age levels of our girls this past year. The program served over 270 Girl Scouts. She is a true community leader, paving the way for young Girl Scouts to be confident in their leadership skills. Congratulations, Michelle, on your honor as Woman of Distinction.
Wow, Tammy, what an amazing celebration we had tonight. The Girl Scout movement is lucky to have such dedicated volunteers to keep the movement going forward.
You're right, Jocelyn, but you know what? We always keep girls at the center of every decision we make. To build girls like you, of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place is what we do. Volunteers are the backbone of our organization, and we can't do what we do best without their support. The ladies and the gentlemen that have been recognized are just outstanding in everything they do. And girls like you, that's what we produce. We give them the tools to become change makers in the world today. And I ask you to please support girls like Jocelyn. And now to even think that she's taking on a troop of her own at just a young age, I'm telling you what, this is what we do. Please support. And Jocelyn, thank you for helping me host this event today.
Women of Impact is a powerful community of adults, Girl Scout alums, and leaders from across the country who believe in preparing girls to be leaders of the future. Girl Scouts is the most respected organization of its kind and is the home to trailblazing women such as Venus Williams, Katie Couric, and Carly Kloss, to name just a few incredible Girl Scout alums. The success of Women of Impact is driven by volunteer leaders like you, and we have big things coming this fall. Consider joining us and learn more about Women of Impact.
I hope you've enjoyed the time celebrating and recognizing 207 of our amazing volunteers. This is just a sample of the thousands of volunteers who have given their time, the talent, and the treasures to help us deliver the best Girl Scouting experience. We're almost halfway of our 65,000 goal, and I want to challenge you to help us cross that finish line. Girl Scouts has proven itself as the premier female leadership organization, period. I say this all the time, but this year, with girls facing mental health issues, the upcoming year is going to be one of necessity to get girls back into the outdoors and introducing them to camping, skills challenges, troop meetings, badge workshops, and the most important, community engagement. All of those things we're so good at. Please help our girls. Please give the gift of a membership. Pay for a girl to participate in a program or even a camping experience, because we're coming back to camp. Help us diversify our revenues away from product sales. You can donate any amount in the link, but donate. We also have about 20 of our celebration boxes remaining. We'll have an email out tomorrow and you can order one. You can even put your name and claim one in the chat lines. I hope you've enjoyed the event. I want to thank our sponsors and hope you can send them emails of appreciation, or better yet, solicit their businesses as they continue to support Girl Scouting. I want to thank Sue Roth, long-term volunteer and actual chair of our Membership Connection Committee. Gina Silva, our staff who is manning the chat line. Go Gina. Donna McNeeler, Ruth Pollock, Santa Cruz County Bank, the Thousand Oaks Inn, Gerald and Mary McCullough. Conejo Awards and Engraving Wizard is owned by our board treasurer, Crystal Evans. Ocean Mist, Bank of America, Insperity, and the Diarigo brothers. I also want to take a moment and thank a few of my team members for pulling this virtual event off. They would have never imagined this task being a part of their employment, but you know, COVID keeps giving and giving and giving. We're tired for your generosity, COVID, get out of here. I want to thank Megan Lopez for our fund development, Katie Nelson and her team, Eileen's here, for all the marketing and production of the event, Jennifer Kane and Michelle Kennetts for the celebration packages. Oh, I've lost my, Craig Sherrod, who is our videographer and editor, and Tammy Trejo, our employee of the year. These are just a few of my team members that make my life here a little bit easier. Then, of course, our amazing host, Jocelyn, and our board chair and my partner in leading this council, Lupita. Thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be the CEO of this amazing council. I hope that my service to the girls and volunteers is seen as one of gratitude and support. Good night. I hope you enjoy the Martinellis, or for like the Mikasa service unit, celebrate with a glass or bottle. I'm sorry, not a whole bottle. Not saying you ladies are drinking, but I know Michelle Ginnitz gave all of her leadership a bottle. And Michelle, thank you, still in Mikasa service unit for my sit-upon. I do treasure it, and I still have not drinking all of the wine that you put into it. But please, everybody, enjoy the night. Thank you for watching, and please donate. Have a great one.